What's going on, my fellow patrons? How's it going? It's Manuel Godoy from Black Sands with another major update. It's actually a pretty huge milestone that we got for Black Sands, the Seven Kingdoms. For all you people tuning in on Facebook and YouTube, we greatly appreciate you guys. And all my patrons and investors and everybody else who's here, thank you so much for helping us reach our goal, which is 600 patrons on our campaign. We are living right now. So first of all, I got a brand new mic, right? The sound quality should be a lot better for us. But first, tell me if the sound is coming in clear, all right? I want to make sure it sounds coming in clear before I go to town on this bad boy. So let me know in the comments. Brandon Davis hooking me up right here already. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support, man. Let's do it. All right. So we loud and clear. Let's go. All right. So first things first. We hit our mark, 600 patrons. This is huge for us, all right? Because it means that we could do a lot of phenomenal things. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fully fund episode 4, 5, and 6 of Black Sands without ever going to Kickstarter. We're going to do it ourselves. So this right here is a bad boy. And I ain't even put it in the patron page yet. But all the guys that are in Patreon right now, I'm putting all your names in the credits of episode 4, 5, and 6, because you guys are the reason why these are being created in the first place. All right. So if you already watched 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6 about to be fire. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we done did that ourselves. We ain't asked nobody's help. Hollywood ain't help. We just did it ourselves. Remember, these episodes are passion projects. These are user created passion projects. So while we might have some big names doing the actual films and animations for from the stuff that we raised on WeFunder, the ones on YouTube are cast by our community, right? I don't go for the big name people and stuff when I do those for the community. Instead, I go exclusively on Patreon and I allow my patrons their shot to take these characters. And right now, there are 15 characters that need to be cast for episode 4, 5, and 6. That is not even including any of the people who are already carryovers from the first 3 episodes who are going to continue their work in these episodes. So we got 15 characters that we're going to be casting this round. Additionally, those 15 characters, we have them right now. I'm about to show you all of them so you can see who the characters are. There are many different type of backgrounds that you're going to have to go and cover. There's a lot of room for the black, the white, the Asian. I don't care who the hell you are, as long as you have the best voice for the role. All right. So I want you to knock this out the park. You know what I mean? And guess what? If you're not a patron, you need to sign up because we are Army, baby. We an Army. We just passed our 600 and now we're going to go to 1,000. All right. The next goal. And don't worry about whether the goal changes anything. We've hit 600. We're good. Next goal is going to be 1,000, and that's for full-fledged video game production. So that's when we actually have a studio making video games. And guess what the patrons will be able to do when we start doing that phase? You guys will be able to create quests. Yes, you guys are going to actually submit ideas for quests in the game, and we're going to vet them and we're going to let the community decide which ones should go in, and then we're going to actually implement them into our freaking RPG because that's what we like to do. So that's going to be one of the dope things we're going to do. That's our next goal of 1,000 patrons. Hopefully we can reach there, but I'm just ecstatic that we actually made it to 600. I'm freaking lit right now. So without further ado, let's go through these characters. All right, let's go through these characters. So first of all, let's do it like this. I'm going to be real small on the side real quick, and we're going to go through these characters. So first things first, this is actually the cover of the new Ultimate Edition. So the hardcover book of the Ultimate Edition is actually coming out within a week or two. So in a week or two, you'll finally be able to buy the second hardcover of Black Sands, which has 4, 5, and 6. So if you like this image, if you think this image is hot right here, give me a like on this video and share it on Facebook. Let me know who's really about this right here. Let's see. Pulling this up. Boom. All right. So, first things first, let's go to the first character on the list. That, my friend, is Bastet. There we go. So Bastet. Bastet is our first character on the list. Look at that right there. This young lady is actually a Kickstarter backer. So believe it or not, a lot of the characters in our show were actually Kickstarter backers who originally did like $500 years ago. Years ago they invested in us and they secured characters for themselves. So this is an actual human being right here. Right? She's actually one of my favorite supporters. She's been supporting us for years. But her character, Bastet, it has a lot of lines in this series. So if you are a female that's trying to get this role right here, you're going to want to get it right now. You know what I'm saying? This one is a pretty dope character. She's a little bit, how can you say, promiscuous and sexual in the way she speaks, right? Because she's Bastet, man. She's a living goddess of love and stuff like that. You got to love that stuff, man. So capture that energy when you're casting her, okay? Then we have the general, all right? So he's an unnamed general in our story, but he is extremely important to our story, mostly because he is a very close friend to Seth, all right? He's in charge of the Western armies, and he says a lot of things in this episode. So he actually has a lot of voice work to him. So if you're going to do this character, you got to think strong military-minded character, somebody who has a lot of energy, and most importantly, somebody who's a father, all right? Because one of the main things about this character is that he is has a memory sequence in which he's trying to save his son, and Seth steps in. So you need to have that kind of energy when you're going to be doing this character. You're going to try to voice this character. And don't email me about, hey, I have a great voice or any of that stuff. Show it in the work. We're going to send the instructions for how you're going to apply for all these characters, including voice lines that you need to do in order to submit your application. All right. Now we're going to the next character in our list. That would be the Syrian assassin. So we have this Syrian assassin here. He actually says a couple of things in this episode. His work is a little bit even-handed, right? So it's not a lot, but it's definitely enough to make it worthwhile, right? And the character is very memorable if you pull this one off. If we pull the voice acting off for this particular area, this is going to be an incredible scene, probably one of the most important scenes in the series. All right, I'm not going to spoil anything though, so I'm just going to leave this to your mind on what you guys are going to do with that one. Let's see. Boom. Let's go to page 15. Page 15. That's the general's son right there. He actually says quite a lot of lines in this series. So you will have to do the son. This is a very young voice. All right. Very, very young. We're looking at somebody about 10 years old, max. All right. This is, if you got kids, shoot a shot. Who knows? We might be able to actually get a kid in here in this position. I wouldn't doubt it because we're actually using a 12-year-old girl. Right? Actually, she's 14. A 14-year-old girl for Cosmic Girls. She nailed the part. So I guess this right here can be done by, someone's son, someone, whatever. So long as you got the right instrumentals and you can actually filter out the stuff yourself, I don't see why someone's son won't be able to land this position. All right. Let's see. Next one. Nekabet. First of all, Nekabet is literally the GOAT character when it comes to cosplay. I mean, just look at her. If you ever thought cosplay was an opportunity for you to go and just hand it out, Nekabet is too dope. She doesn't have too many lines in this, but she does have great dialogue. So if you want to be remembered for a couple of one-liners, that is her. She kills it, right? And she is dope. She has a dual sword wielding. Look, first of all, the girl got dual swords that turns into a bow. All right, so you figure that one out, right? But that sounds pretty incredible. She is up for grabs, and she'll be in subsequent issues whenever her story arcs come in. Remember, these characters, while you might land them now, there's no reason that in the future, if they come in again, that we wouldn't be coming back to you. All right. Let's see. So we got Nekabet. And then we're going to go straight to Sheut. All right, so Sheut is literally a major character in this arc. All right, for the rest of the season, this guy is going to have an incredible amount of lines. All right. And for all you islanders out there with really strong accents, this is your guy. All right. He has an accent, but he's very pirate like. So I want to have that kind of energy, that freaking Caribbean pirate type energy for Sheut. He is when I say major character, I mean major. Like he's going to be doing a lot of stuff. He has background story. He's the main man for this group when it comes to traveling around the world. So this is the character you want to get if you just coming into this now and this is the first time you casting for anything. This is the character you want to get. All right. Now let me go to the comment section before I go any further. So let me see here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so before I go any past that, anybody here have any questions about this process? All right, I don't see any questions yet, new questions, but I do see some questions. So let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. And I know I'm going a little fast, a lot of characters to go through, so I don't want to go too slow. Okay, how about this one? You're sending instructions, right? Yes. On Patreon, we're going to give instructions for how to apply. We're going to give you a couple of lines, right? We're going to give you a couple of lines so you can basically pick out which characters you want, right? And you can submit up to 3 characters at a time, right? You can only submit up to 3 characters at a time, couple of lines. It needs to be processed, okay? Don't give us lines that have to be improved. They need to be final lines so we know that you can work remotely. Because at the end of the day, we have to work remotely on this. Nobody can come into a studio. You gotta do it at your own location. So try your hardest to keep it clean. Look out for those picks and pops and poops, right? You gotta make sure you don't peek on any of this stuff, right? And you should be pretty good to go, right? At that point, it's just who's going to be the best after that, right? And it's just a couple of lines at first. If you make it past the first round, you can get the script for the character. You're going to do like 1/3 of the script, and then we're going to pick out from there and pick the person who's going to basically be locked in on that character. All right, so that's the process that's going to be doing for that. Let's see what else. Is the audition through SoundCloud? Well, you can give a SoundCloud link. That is perfectly fine. I actually prefer if you use SoundCloud links as opposed to giving me attachments. I don't like attachments. So any SoundCloud links is always the best way to go and get it done. Let's see. Do we have to be a patron? No, you can also be an investor. If you haven't invested, though, in the last round, then you're kind of out of luck, right? You got to be a patron. But basically, the people who helped us build this by putting capital in, they're the ones that are going to benefit from voicing the characters. Yeah. The website is not popping up for me. I didn't put a website up yet. Which website are you talking about? Are you talking about patreon.com/blacksands? Because that one works fine. I haven't put a page up yet for casting. So if you're using the old link don't exist anymore. That casting call was done. Let's see. Do you have to be in the States? Do you have to be in the States? No. All right. In fact, a lot of the voice actors are in Europe. So, no. Let's see. Just to let you know, my Facebook buddy Levant, they're live on YouTube and Facebook. I just happen to be picking out the ones on YouTube because they're asking a lot more questions. But we see you. So ask some questions that are pertinent to the conversation, and we will get to your questions. Here's a good question, and I want everybody to understand this, all right? If I'm a patron, can I include my son in the audition process for the General Son? And the answer is yes. In fact, you can include your friend, you can include your spouse, you can include your grandfather. I really don't care who it is, so long as they're connected to your patron page. All right, you just simply put your patron handle on there when the submission, and it's golden. It's golden. All right. All right, but don't let everybody apply for this. Pick one of your family members, right? Because I don't want to be flooded by like 17 people from the same dude. All right, so handle it that way. But yes, people can use your patron to apply, shoot their shot, or whatever. Right? At the end of the day, this is a perk. Right? This was not something people were signing up for. Most of the people who signed up on Patreon signed up to be a future investor in our company for the next round. Right? This is just an extra perk that we're giving to our fans, right? So they can be involved in the production and hopefully grow something out of their words. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So let's get back into this. Boom. And let's get back into this bad boy. So we just left off with Shote, and if you get Shote, congratulations, because he's literally one of the biggest characters in this story arc. All right, next one, we're going to Elder Sumerian Priest. All right, so this man has no name. A lot of characters have no names, but they have iconic moments. So this guy has a lot of cold, calculated moments in this entire section. Me personally, if you land this character, you're gonna have a good villain reel. All right, you're gonna have a good villain reel on this one, right? His apprentice is also there as well. This guy in the background, right? Let's just say whoever lands that character is gonna have a very long fall. All right, so we're good with that one, right? But these two characters are pretty cool. Think Arabic accents, right? Arabic accents is very important when we talk about Sumerian characters. So let's land that one right away. Let's see. Boom. Let's go to Deun. Deun is the lead Magi and also the father of Shote. So Deun is literally the top Magi in all of that entire civilization. So we have to speak with power when we talk with him, right? We have to be very powerful. Now, he's not a pirate like his son. So I wouldn't worry too much about having the accent be that crazy when it comes to like the more pirate-ish like vocalization. But he should have a very noble African accent. This is a very what we say tribal character. All right. So think about that when you're voicing him. You know, it's a really cool, very mythical character that is actually pretty important in the long run. He doesn't have too many lines, right? But he is in the long run. He's going to have a lot more work, right? He's the guy who's making the decisions for the Magi. All right, let's see. Next one. The Minoan captain. All right, so the Minoan captain is pretty gangster, right? He's actually a pretty cool dude. Now, with Minoans, one of the things I wanted to do with Minoans was get a lot of Hispanic type accents for Minoans in general. Spartans would get more European type accents, right? Spartans get the hardcore European, 300 style accents and stuff. But Minoans and people like that from the island, I want to give them that, that island talk, that more of Hispanic, Portuguese, whatever, that kind of feel, to that kind of vibe to their characters. So that's the kind of accents we're looking for when we're dealing with these characters, right? So when you're going for them, make sure to hit that accent. All right, make sure to hit that accent. Here's a minor character. There's not too much going on here with these characters, but these cooks basically have a moment of conversation with the kids, right? So if you want to get in there, I don't see why you shouldn't shoot your shot for these two characters right here. These cooks, right? They just push the story forward. They're very essential. So it'd be a good spot. All right, Wisdom. So Wisdom is one of the head priestess of the Minoan faith. All right, she's one of the top priestess in their kingdom, and she is a direct advisor to the queen Olinye. So we're looking for someone with a very elderly vibe. All right, elderly vibe. That's the vibe we're looking for. Kind of a priest, right? That nun-like vibe. And I'd be happy about it, man. If we can get that Catherine, Queen Augustine type feel to her, I would be super happy about that, right? Because that's the kind of energy she has, that high dignity appeal, right? And she's a little slick with her words, so you can be a little slick too. You can be a little snappy. Let's see what else. Here we go. The queen. The queen is very important. Make sure to land her. If you're a female, you want this character. All right. The queen has a lot to say throughout this last 6 issues of the series. All right. So we're talking about first of all, there's a war going on in Manoa, and the next 5 issues is the war in Manoa. So you're going to see a lot of conversations between her. A lot of other Minoan characters are going to be speaking a lot throughout this entire thing. So you definitely want to land this character. She's actually very fun. She has a very fun appeal to her, and she's in charge. There is no king in the Minoan civilization. They are a matriarch. They are a matriarch society. So she's in charge. So if you ever want to boss people around for episodes, have fun with this character. Let's see what else. Noxus. Okay. So Noxus. Noxus is this man right here. He's actually the, I guess you can say, the champion of Minoa. He is, concubine of the queen. So she, she does have her thing, right? She does have children, right? But the king has no real power. So he's more of a military champion for the queen, right? And he is basically in charge of security and all that stuff, right? So that's what he handles. So a lot of things that involve Olinye's movement throughout the most of the story is going to be done by him, the Vanguard. All right. So land that role if you like those kind of characters. Finally, we have one of the biggest characters in this series, right? Menes. Menes is basically a Greek slave that was captured by Titans, turned into a god killer, accidentally killing his sister, and becoming a renegade psychopath who now is seeking some kind of redemption from the ridiculous life he's had prior to this moment. This character is nuts. All right. Whoever gets this character is going to have a lot of work to them, and I want to see some freaking attitude. All right. This character right here goes berserk sometimes, and he has a real fiery attitude. No pun intended. All right. He's definitely somebody that's going to have a very interesting story throughout this entire thing. He actually joins them for a short period of time as one of the fighters, and he has very mixed loyalties. All right. He doesn't really like anyone. So he's not trying to protect people so much as trying to figure out who the hell he is. Right. And for most of his life, he's been a slave or captured or imprisoned, so he really doesn't have an identity of who the heck he is as a person. All right. So that's the entire cast that we're going to be working out in this series. Now, I'm going to take a bunch of questions from the community, and we can close this out after I've answered all these questions. And remember, in order to apply for any of these positions, you have to have an active patron account. But it doesn't mean that your friends, family, or whatever can't use your patron tag in order to submit themselves, especially if you're not a voice actor. You're like, I don't really care for this much. I'm not a voice actor. I just want the episode. So, but my friend, he does voice work, so I want him to go and apply. That's not a problem. You can do that, all right? I'm not going to hate on somebody trying to get their friend on or whatever. At the same time, they probably should become a patron anyway and join the Legion. Now, let's go. All right, so here's a good question. Why do you portray ancient Egyptians as West African looking people? Well, let me first make this a little better. I want to make sure that I can't really see, so I'll lift this down right there. Boom. All right. So, why do you portray ancient Egyptians as West African looking people? Well, the answer is simple. Because I'm West African looking people. The entire audience is West African looking people. I'm sure this isn't going to be a giant hit in Egypt like it will be in the United States. It's definitely made for African Americans and other Pan-Africans across the entire world. So I'm going to make it for them. Same reason why all the Greeks don't look like Middle Easterners in every single movie about ancient Greece. They look like British people. They look like British people because that's the audience. So that's why I do it. And people can say artistic taste or they can disagree with why, but I don't care. All right, let's see what else we got here. Is there an age requirement? No, but you better have your parents' consent. All right. I don't want to deal with anybody who's less than 12 years old, only because it's very hard to coach some kid that's less than 12 years old, right? We also have to absolutely make sure that whatever's being submitted doesn't need improvement, right? So we're not going to be like, hey, you have a great voice, but if you made some improvements, the audio quality will be better. If we have to do that, we're probably going to reject the audition, right? So we want to make sure the last whatever you're submitting is basically final render, right? So we can really assess whether you'll be able to independently work, right? Let's see. The last character you mentioned, what age group for him? That would be about, just say 12 to 14. 12 to 14 is a good age range as far as sound is concerned, right? So that's what's up with that. Digging all the characters, how long will auditions be held? Auditions will be held for about, I'd say, 2 weeks. I'm really not going to let it last long at all this time around. Mostly because last time when we did it, it was kind of like a spectacle, right? It was the reason people signed up for Patreon was to become a voice actor. So we did a really long tiered thing for that. But this time around, most people who join our Patreon is one, to read our content, two, to become investors in the next investment round because they missed the first round because they simply just didn't get in fast enough. Right. So because it's not the driving goal for people to sign up for Patreon, we decided we're going to do a very quick casting round. Right. So we can get as many of them in as fast as possible and make decisions immediately and then move on with production. I want to try to get episode 4 out in a month. Right. And then every episode after that, month after month after month. I don't want to wait. Like a long time. I want to get we already have the animation team prepared for it, so they're going to start working on it, and you just go month after month after month, boom, 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 knock them out. So that's what's up with that, so that's how we're going to do that. Let's see. What's the best app to audition with? Just use SoundCloud. SoundCloud links are the freaking holy grail for me. I love SoundCloud links. It means I don't have to download anything, and you can check everything right there, right? Let's see. Any other questions? I'm not seeing much questions down here. Any other questions? Maybe some questions about specific characters. Anything. I don't care what it is. You can even ask me questions about the investment round, and I'll answer them right now. I have time. I have about 10 more minutes. So you can ask questions about anything. You can ask questions about the investment round. You can ask questions about maybe partnerships or what we're doing out there right now, about the productions. I can give you updates on that. Whatever questions you want to ask, I'm going to answer them right now. Yes, absolutely. Shabakara, Imani. That is true. I prefer SoundCloud. I just like it. I just don't like downloading stuff. Any plans on working with bigger platforms such as Netflix to make the series? No, we're not planning on working with Netflix at all. We might work with Amazon. With that being said, after this investment round is done, we're going to be doing an A+ round, and we're going to be raising millions of dollars. So we are going to have the budget to do a AAA TV series for Black Sands. We're going to do it independently, So don't think that Netflix is required, because I have everything except for the capital right now. The things that Netflix provides is capital and talent. I have all the talent. I have people from top studios right now working on our stuff. So I don't need the talent. The only thing I need is the capital. And I believe that the Black community and the brown community and the Arab community and all those communities that basically get screwed over by Hollywood every single day, I think those people are going to come hard to make this production. I think we're going to raise millions. And guess who's going to be the benefactors of that? I'm not doing something like everybody else where they say, hey, give me millions of dollars and I'm going to make a movie, and then one day you can sell your shares. That's not going to be how this works. You put money in for the actual production in our A+ round, and you're going to get a profit share. You're going to get a part of the license, which means that whenever the license gets picked up by a network, or whenever the toys get picked up by Walmart or whatever, that check comes, it gets distributed throughout the entire owner pool who owns a piece of that license. That's the deal that Netflix gets. And we're giving that to the community instead. But you got to see the final product first before we actually start raising capital on that, because you need to see what you're really investing in. And when you see that final product, you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute, this is about to be $1 billion. That's when I get you. That's when I take all your money. When you see and you go, oh, that's going to be $1 billion. You ain't go, until then, I ain't asking for none of that. But the second that comes, I'm going to be like, oh, and we got to raise a couple million. Y'all going to be like, let's go. Let's go. All right. Okay, do all the characters need an accent? No, but I would prefer Latin accents for Minoans. I would prefer it. Use a neutral accent and a accent for the character as well. So as I always tell people to do that. Do a neutral and an accent. Always do that every time. All right. Can we audition for more than one character? Yes, up to three characters. You get one chance to do 3 characters. Will character notes be available to us? Yes, and I currently have the person in charge of our entire thing working on that right now. So he's going to make a whole bunch of documentation with suggestions on how you need to deliver your stuff and everything else. But remember, every last one of you who are patrons has access to the source material. So you have access to episode 1 through 6. You already have it. So when you see that page and he's about to punch somebody in the face, that he needs to be a little furious when he says it. You know what I'm saying? So use the comic books as the best sense of what's going on. Ooh, there's a lot of questions here. My son is 6 years old and wants to audition, and yes, he's in acting school. I would love for him to do it, but I just don't. He said you can try. Maybe he'll shock us. At the end of the day, we're picking off of merits, so there's no reason why he can't apply. By all means, just remember though, 6 years old, your voice ain't mature yet. right? His voice ain't mature yet. He's kind of young, super young. Kid might be a hell of an actor, but maybe he's better for Maury's Family Adventures when that comes around, right? Because Maury's Family Adventures is with kids. Oh, let's see. This is a lore question, so this is an interesting question. Is Black Sands magic system a hard magic system or a soft magic system? I assume and you meant to write magic system at the back one. So it is a hard magic system. As far as the powers are very wild and outlandish. With that being said, not many people have magic in the series. All right, so magic is very limited, and it's not like schools. There's no schools of magic. You can't learn the Egyptian sand style of magic. Nah, you're either born with it or you're not. So that's important. That's important in world building, right? All powers are unique. How long is it going to take to create the video game for console? And what he's talking about is the video game goal that we're going to put on Patreon for 1,000 patrons. It's going to take a year. It's going to take a year. Once we get to 1,000 patrons, we'll have the capital to do a good burn every single month, right? And with that burn, we'll be at about a year production. So it's going to take a year to do. We're going to hire a lot of people out. Maybe there's a whole bunch of programmers and game developers in our actual community that we can hire on directly into our production. That would be pretty dope, But yeah, it's going to be a year. How do investors get the lines for auditions? I'm just going to send an update to the investors. So I'm going to send all the information that goes to the patrons are also going to go into a WeFunder. So people who are on WeFunder, they're going to see an update saying casting call. Here's the information. Boom. And then you're going to see all the information there. And you just submit it to the same place the patrons are going to be doing it. And don't worry about talking about your patron tag or anything like that. You can just straight up just send an email. It's not a problem, right? Because you're investors anyway. Y'all own some stake in this game. One of the next issues coming out. Issue 7 is on delay. So it has a really long delay for issue 7 because we're making the animations, right? With that being said, hopefully I can get it out by November, right? But it's very delayed on purpose. We have a lot of production to do on the animation side, trying to get this stuff grounded. I'm a new patron. How I have access? We're just going to post a new update soon. So you're going to see the update on Patreon. Don't worry about it. You're not going to miss it because I'm going to send an update and I'm going to send an email to everybody. So long as people aren't blacklisting the email from Patreon, you're going to be good. Please, when is the next investment round and how is it structured? The next investment round will be a stock round, all right? You're going to be buying 5% of our company for about $590,000. You can invest as much as you want. The maximum is going to be somewhere between $100 to $250. That's going to be the minimum investment in order to buy stock in our company, all right? So there you go. That's how it's going to work. It's going to be in August, hopefully. Hopefully, we're going to launch in August. And close it out in August. Because I'm telling you, this campaign's gonna go fast. We got a lot of people ready to go. So I don't think this campaign is gonna last long at all. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. Can we still become a patron? Absolutely. I need to get to 1,000 patrons now. Please, by all means, sign up. You see the link below where it says subscribe today at patreon.com/blacksands. Sign up. I only say this though. Make sure that when you sign up, you're signing up to actually join our community over the long run and talk to us on Discord and be active in the community, because I don't want people to sign up just to try to shoot their shot for an audition. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, most of the people are there because they want to own a piece of the company over the long term and help us make these awesome productions on YouTube and make video games and sign other creators to our company so they can have an audience. A lot of the comic books that we have in distribution right now are from other creators who signed on to Black Sands for an exclusive, right? And we can only do that because we have access to capital through Patreon, right? We can't use our profits to do that because those things don't bring us more profits, right? When we use our profits, we use it to get more profits. So that's like buying $20,000-$30,000 worth of books. That's important because you got to have books to sell books, but you can't use 20,000-30,000 to make YouTube episodes because they don't make money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's just taking away from your bottom line. So in order to do these passion projects, that's what the Patreon is for. We can get passion projects out to create these episodes. We can sign other people to our company so they can have a new audience, and we can show you really dope comic books we feel are in the Black community right now. And we can support other people in different ways and everything else. It's really a power dynamic. We're kind of building our own ecosystem for Black creativeness. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Okay, so this is a question about the Salmon Rider, aka Shanna West. So first of all, she is an incredible self-taught martial artist from London, right? She's actually from Ghana, right? She's a stunt actor, so she does I say stunt actress, right? Who does actually a lot of films, right? And her social media, specifically her Instagram, has blown up out of proportions. Like she gets like freaking 15% engagement rates, which is nuts. So one thing she's doing with us is she's helping us out with our choreography because she's a huge anime geek, right? So she's gonna help us out with that, making our action scenes a lot more authentic and dope. And then on top of that, she's also going to help us reach out to her audience on social media, which will help us grow tremendously. So that's what we have with her right now. She's a great person to have as a brand ambassador. She's pretty damn dope. Okay, when will the BSP app be available? I missed the sign up for the beta stage. How is the app coming along? So we are currently in we're currently in wireframing. So we're wireframing the website, right? And we're eventually going to be building the website in about 2 weeks. That is for creators. So a creator goes there, they apply to become a creator on BSP. If their application is accepted, they're going to be labeled exclusive or non-exclusive. If they're exclusive, their episodes will join our lottery system, which will get to people who are on the app who want to use currency in order to unlock comic books. Now, remember, the currency you get in the app, you can get for free, right? Unless you want to pay for it because you're just a generous dude. But you can get it for free. Just keep doing stuff on the app. The non-exclusives will have their content on the app for free, similar to Webtoons. So it'll just be it'll be open access to everybody, right? And all those books will be there on the app. Really dope system, really clean atmosphere. And we're currently in the wireframing stage of that, but we're going to be moving very quickly. We should have development up in 5 months, which means that we'll be ready for November, Black Friday, and we can start having people download the app on the App Store or on the Google Play Store. How's that work? Let's see. Do you have any idea on how much a share will be? $1 to $2. $1 to $2. I wouldn't care too much about how much the shares will be. The main thing is look at our valuation, look at what we're doing on traction, right? And make an investment based off of that, you know, and financials and whatever else you need to go and make the decisions, right? Let's see. Well, dang, that's a lot of comments. So I'm gonna have to cut this off in 5 minutes because there's a lot of stuff here. But let's see. Let's see. All right, got the. Are you looking for writers soon? I'm looking for creators who create their own products. So I have no problem with actually giving a platform, even paying people to bring their books onto our platform. But we do not necessarily hire writers, right? We just don't. It's very, when I'm looking for help with writing, I'm usually very secretive of it. I usually go directly to a source in order to find talent, right? Because a lot of people just always solicit to me all the time about writing and stuff like that. So I tend to avoid it. All right. But it doesn't mean I don't support people who are writers. I have plenty of comic books right now under our name with a whole bunch of writers who are knocking out their own books, and we're just giving them platforms and help with Kickstarters so they can fund their stuff. How do you become a patron? Just go to patreon.com/blacksands and subscribe. Subscriptions are $5 or $20, whichever one you prefer. Just let you know, the $5 tier allows you access to all of our casting, all of our comic books, and you get them instantly. So you don't get it where it's like, hey, on month one, you get issue 1 of whatever. No, the first day you sign up, you're getting 11 comic books, not including the 2 comic books that are going to be released this month. So it's going to be actually 13 comic books by the end of the month. On top of that, right, the $20 tier will get you a 72-hour window to invest in the next round of investment before anybody else. All right, so there's hundreds of them. There are hundreds and hundreds of people in that tier. So they're going to gobble up a lot of this investment round in the first 72 hours. They know it. They're saving up their money and they're ready to go. They want to grab as much as they can. And I don't care how greedy they are. They want to grab as much as they want. That's their choice, right? But they're ravenous and they're ready to go. So, if you want to have really good terms or whatever, make sure to get in that first 72 hours. All the patrons will be in there in the first week. And then in the second week, that's when we're going to actually open it to the public. All right. Well, Patreon is a monthly subscription, right? Patreon is a monthly subscription. So people will just donate every month, X, Y, and Z. Me personally, if you're paying $15 to Hulu or Disney and with their ridiculously slim content, might as well build your own empire on Patreon. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't think they are worth the money, but people pay it. They only, people pay it, so, and they'll never make anything about African history ever. They won't. And anybody can argue with me about that all they want, but I have 40 years of proof. They haven't made any. They've done 10 movies about Native Americans, and there's barely any of them left. But they ain't do none about Africans. And the reason is simple. They trying to make sure that we don't ever feel proud about ourselves ever. So this is an investment in Black productions that are unapologetic. For better sound quality, if you're using a phone, you're most likely not going to make it. So, phones do not have the greatest sound quality at all, so I would not use a phone. With that being said, there's plenty of ways to soundproof a room and then make your voice thing. You can use microphones. You can use your, them freaking gaming mics for games, right? Use one of them bad boys, and so long as you're not popping all over the place, you might make it. Will this become an anime? Absolutely. Can you say the minimum again, please? Yes, $100 to $250. That's going to be the minimum for the next round of investment. All right? No maximum. When we buy additional stock, is it separate from what we originally bought? Absolutely, it is. And the reason why is because it's at a different valuation. So those stocks are not nearly as valuable as your original ones. However, all the stock in the company raises in value. So what happens is you're buying more share of the pie, right? By buying more stock, right? All the stock prices are going up based off of this next round, right? So the value of the company is going up based off the next round. So that's how it works, right? And if you want to buy more of your share, right, you got the opportunity to do that, All right, so that's it for now. I'm so happy you guys came out today. This is an incredible day. 600 patrons. We are growing, baby. And if we get to 1,000 patrons, we'll start video game production, and we will hire any programmers and game developers in our community first for that production. There's no problem learning on the job. So long as you've had some experience, there's no problem getting better at the job on the job. Because with us, unlike other things like animation and stuff like that, gaming production requires experience. And so long as somebody who's in charge has a hell of a lot of experience, they can hand down certain tasks to people, right? And then you can do something within the scope of your skill, right? So we're going to be using a lot of people who are game programmers and stuff like that. We're going to use them regardless if they have a lot of experience or not. We just want to make sure they have made stuff in the past so they can get instructions. And it's going to be one of those community productions. You know what I'm saying? So be excited about that, right? We're going to be doing good. All right. So if you haven't join patreon.com/blacksands. Join the nation. We're huge. We're getting bigger by the day. We get to 1,000 patrons. We are going to be knocking content out left and right. You're going to get 2 comic books extra this month. So that's 13 comic books in total. We're a freaking empire right now. We're growing faster than light. Let's do it, baby. Black Sands out.